If you talk with most of the big hyperscalers today, they're still short on AI compute. They still don't have enough. And if you look at companies across industries, they're all at various stages of adopting AI. There's going to be a lot more IPO opportunities of these next generation pure play AI or innovative companies that come to market. And so, there's going to be, I think, a lot of excitement. The growth is there.
欢迎收看中租基金影音平台，我是刘姿玲。在去年的时候呢，中租基金影音平台访问了安联收益成长的基金经理人，这是台湾人投资人最多拥有的境外基金之一，规模非常的惊人。当时我们谈了333黄金比例的资产配置、主动管理的价值，还包含了投资信态。有兴趣的朋友呢，可以点右上方的连结继续收看。那当然，大家看完了都了解什么是收益的成长之后呢，还有一个问题没有解决，尤其是今年大家还是非常关注 AI 的热潮。AI 这么热，到底要怎么投资？而我们要如何掌握重点呢？今年呢，安联投信再度带来非常重量级的贵宾，这一位呢是安联 AI 收益成长团队的经理人 Stephen Hello, Stephen.
Hello. Thanks for having us today.
Thank you for being with us. 今天呢 ，Stephen 来到现场，我们来了解到台湾人呢对于 AI 的投资到底有多少，而接下来如果真的要投资，有哪一些内容跟步骤是我们必须要处理的。Okay, first of all, I would like to talk about AI investment. Okay, when it comes to the AI, people think of the big names. For example, like TSMC, NVIDIA, a Magnificent Seven. But actually, for people like to do the investment, how does your investment team find the right entry points and areas of growth?
Yeah, we're in a period of really great change and disruption due to artificial intelligence. And when you go through periods like this, bottoms-up fundamental research is very key. Understanding the company's strategy, how the markets may change, the disruption impact of AI as it progresses. And so, our approach looks across sectors and industries, really looking for the best opportunities, companies that we think are innovating across really three dimensions, what we call AI infrastructure, not only the semiconductor companies, but component companies, power companies, storage, memory, the broader infrastructure that's important building blocks to the ecosystem. What we call AI applications, both consumer and enterprise companies that are increasingly utilizing AI and now agentic AI to drive new levels of productivity and automation. And what we call AI-enabled industries, or the AI adopters or beneficiaries, companies that are adopting AI as core to their business processes, transforming their sector, transforming their industries, driving new levels of productivity gains and cost cutting. And so we're just starting to see that adoption really start to kick off. And so we do think this is still very early days in this ecosystem, and it's very dynamic, lots of change, and you've seen that in some of the volatility in the markets.
But you see the dynamic at early days. Actually, people will think like AI infrastructure will have been talking for like decades. So how do you find this benefit from these companies, especially?
Yeah, I think this AI infrastructure piece has broadened out in the last couple of years. Before it was just the GPUs and semiconductors, and now people are starting to understand this build out of this AI infrastructure, or as Jensen calls it, AI factories, is much like the Industrial Revolution and power generation and connectivity. So it's a much broader investment opportunity, and you've seen that in the stock performance across the subgroups. So memory, storage are now tight in supply. Power is still the biggest constraint on the buildings of this. And then as we go into more advanced systems, the need for optical networking and higher speed connectivity is becoming increasingly important. So you've seen the infrastructure trade broaden out beyond just what we've seen the last couple of years with the semiconductor companies. And the hyperscaler CapEx spending continues to be very high and elevated. And we think it'll be higher for longer, that this is a decade-long investment cycle. And as more companies adopt AI, that the innovation cycle will continue as these models get more intelligent.
And for this year, we will see many significant impact across many industries. At the beginning of this year, software stocks seem being the latest victim of the volatility. So what is the opportunity for software and the hardware?
As all this infrastructure is being built out and the hardware capabilities have come out, you've seen software come under pressure as the model builders, the OpenAIs, the Claude Anthropic AI models have gotten much more intelligent. And so this disruption fear has kind of rattled the software market about the capabilities that these new tools can write its own software and do more of the process. So it's created a little bit of uncertainty. I do think as we look at the software space, it's still very important longer term, but the software industry is going through a little bit of a transition. Over the last decade, it's been about software as a service, putting cloud software there. And now in this next wave, we're moving from a seat-based subscription type of model in software as a service to more of a consumption-based model where agentic AI is running 24/7, handling tasks, handling processes, doing things. And these models are transitioning to that area. So it's important among the software companies to really adopt more agentic AI capabilities, start to show better monetization of these new capabilities while seat subscription might be under pressure. And so, we think over the next year or two, I think things will stabilize. We'll start to see improvements in their capabilities. And as corporations are adopting AI, they're also taking a slower wait and see approach, waiting for the new capabilities, but also trying to understand, how powerful these new systems can be and how do they, take out some costs with labor, replace it with agentic AI, and start to spend more in that area. So it's a transition. I think valuations have corrected a lot in software, but the re-acceleration in their business might take a couple more quarters. But we do think there are opportunities. But I do think this wave of software investing, you need to be much more selective, focus on companies with proprietary data sets, unique business processes that have bigger moats and are more defensible, as these AI capabilities of these models will only get better and better with each generation.
And how about the hardware for the cost, especially for the companies that are being very competitive these days?
Yeah, I think everyone, the whole hardware ecosystem is benefiting from this robust data center investment cycle. And we think that will continue at least for the next several years. The complexity of these systems are also getting bigger, more complex. You need more power, more cooling. Memory architectures are changing. The speeds are changing. So I do think the ecosystem is benefiting from the complexity of this. And obviously in Taiwan, the supply chain is very sophisticated, very advanced, and they're leading in this generation of new types of systems. And then longer term, I think as corporate AI adoption takes off, you're going to see more and more needs on compute. And as we lower the cost of compute, or these tokens, as they call it now in terminology, it increases more adoption. And so you've seen the price of compute go down as these systems get bigger, more efficient, and each system, each year is getting better and better. That brings down the cost of AI compute, and that spurs more corporate adoption as you bring down that price. And so I think they go hand in hand. As you lower the software, as you lower the hardware cost for AI compute, you see more usage. The models get cheaper to run. You see more adoption of agentic AI, and that will fuel this AI inference or additional compute demand that we're seeing so far in the market. If you talk with most of the big hyperscalers today, they're still short on AI compute. They still don't have enough. Yes, the training takes up the bulk of it, but in the last year, these reasoning models or AI inference models, these smaller models that are cheaper to run, have really started to increase their capabilities, and you're seeing more corporations, more developers, more startups, the entire ecosystem, want to utilize these more industry-specific models or lower-cost models to do tasks and to do agentic AI. And I think that's what's driving this next wave of compute that we've seen that makes it more of a sustained investment cycle, so for both hardware and software companies.
For the investors that might need more chance and to find the opportunities in these areas. So for example, could you give us some real examples for the companies that we can still see very promising?
Yeah, I think one thing, it's easy to see how the AI infrastructure companies can benefit. But the market has shifted to, with all this infrastructure investing, who's going to be the beneficiary of that? And so the AI adopters or AI beneficiary companies are now, I think, seeing more interest from investors. And if you look at companies across industries, they're all at various stages of adopting AI. Some are seeing some earlier payback and impacts. Others are taking longer. And so it really depends on the company, the maturity, and where they are in their AI journey, so to speak. Just some examples, in the healthcare industry, obviously, big drug companies like Eli Lilly are really investing a lot more in AI on the research and development to speed the drug trials, simulate different compounds that they're looking at, and really improve the drug discovery process in terms of speeding it up, as well as cost savings and bringing more effective drugs to market. So you're starting to see some of those impact of new drugs coming to market faster with better efficacy. In the aerospace industry, companies like Boeing are utilizing AI for preventative maintenance, kind of forecasting when there might be problems, and kind of proactively streamlining the maintenance process to where it can save significant amounts of money and improve safety. In financial services, a lot of the big leading banks have been investing a lot in AI on fraud detection, credit scoring, improving back office automation. Several of them have talked about saving billions of dollars in cost savings from a lot of these AI efficiencies. And so it really spans the globe. In entertainment industry, they're using it for more digital content creation. It's easier to produce videos and do things in editing and post-production. It really depends on the company, but you're starting to see some of the early benefits of the AI from multiple dimensions. And I think as the model capabilities get better, as we get more comfortable with the tools, as it develops more, we're only going to see another level of improvement over the coming years.
We do receive a lot of data information every day. How does your team do the research of these very specific ways?
One of the things that we've always done is we talk a lot with our companies. We meet with their companies. We understand how much R&D dollars they're putting towards AI, talk with them about some of the early projects they're doing AI. Is it just cost cutting? Are they using it for revenue generating activities? Kind of where they are in their innovation journey. I think in the early days, it was, not every company was doing it. Now every company has a little bit of an AI strategy, but I think it's important to dig deep on how committed they are to this AI innovation journey. And then we also look at the industry. Do they have proprietary data? Do they have unique business process workflows? Complex ecosystem of partners where they have a business that could benefit from this AI automation productivity opportunity. And so I think that's the other piece of it. So we think this is a disruption phase, much like other technologies, where the innovators that are investing today that can drive better costs, better profitability, greater efficiencies, much like Netflix disrupted the media space and Amazon disrupted the retail space a decade ago, we think the AI innovators in every industry and sector that are driving disruption today will disrupt their industry, and you're going to see more dispersion between winners and losers in every sector.
We talk about the agentic AI, and we see many interesting examples according to the news event, especially like OpenAI. So do you see any opportunities, and you think maybe it might growing to different areas and industries?
Agentic AI is kind of the topic of this year, where we're starting to see the capabilities of people using agentic AI platforms to do more work, both in the enterprise where the tools are getting better, where people can build their own agents to do tasks within their the daily jobs, to the consumer side where people are now installing agentic AI software on their own computer to go through their emails and answer things, to do tasks, manage their budgets. And so you're seeing the use cases of agentic AI start to get much greater, and the technology is getting easier to use where people can utilize agentic AI. And so I can see a future in the not too distant couple years ahead where I have 5 or 6 agentic AI agents that I've created. One's going through my emails, determining what's high priority for me to answer, ones they can automatically draft. I cover 50 to 100 stocks. I could have 3 or 4 agentic AI agents analyzing more stocks globally for me, right? Working 24/7, knowing the financial characteristics I like to look at, names that are on my watch list, and going through all the research and recent meetings and interviews and podcasts that are going on, and really summarizing it all for me, give me an opinion, and really helping my day-to-day, much more effective when I get there, to doing stuff in my personal life. I can see a future where agentic AI now gets put into, a small humanoid robotic in your house, and it can do your chores and your tasks. And so all of this is really coming together as the capabilities get better. We're also going to see a lot of exciting new IPOs on the horizon. You've seen the big private companies like Anthropic, like OpenAI, exceed 10, 15, $25 billion run rates in terms of revenue. So they're very sizable companies now. And I do think there is an IPO cycle of a lot of these companies coming in the next 6 to 12 months. Companies like SpaceX are also rumored to be going public. So there's going to be a lot more IPO opportunities of these next generation pure play AI or innovative companies that come to market. And so, there's going to be, I think, a lot of excitement. The growth is there. We'll have to see how the profitability metrics look like when we get more disclosure. But I do think it's an exciting time where it's going to create, I think, more opportunities. And there's a whole other big ecosystem of startups that are also innovating and doing a lot of things. And so we always think the fund is always dynamic, being an active manager. The top 10 names today may not be the same in a year from now. And as we have new companies come to market, we have disruptions in other markets, we're always trying to optimize the portfolio for the best ideas and who's going to lead in this next generation of change. And so it's an exciting time as an investor, both as an analyst and portfolio manager. The amount of change is very significant. We're always talking with our companies, trying to understand, what's going on, who are the new competitors in the marketplace to watch for, who are the startups that we need to pay attention to. And so, we get very familiar with the whole ecosystem of opportunities. And so as companies come to market or as there's M&A, we're always kind of, really active in our approach to the portfolio.
Embrace the market, embrace the technology, and change our portfolio every year.
Yes, and hopefully with more AI assistance and help. I think all of us are going to learn to work alongside the technology, figure out how it can save us time, where it can help us. It's really this human supervised AI era, as I like to call it, where we're still learning and training the AI to do the things we want. We need to put the right guardrails around it from an ethics and governance perspective, making sure it's doing the right things. But the productivity benefits are huge if we can do it, right? If you can train your own agentic AI to do certain tasks that you don't need to do anymore, it frees up hours of your day to spend on higher value things, whether it's more personal relationships, more value-added selling, less around the mundane tasks that we do. And I always like to look at each day of saying, look, what did I spend my day on? Where were 3 or 4 hours that I could get back? Could AI have done something? And there's a long list of things I'd like to do. The technology is not quite there just yet, but in a year or two, I do think it'll get easier. And I think those are the types of things where we're all going to learn to live and work with AI, and it's going to become more seamless in our everyday lives. And the interfaces will change. Today, we're still having to kind of type these detailed AI prompts to do things. In the future, I'm going to talk to it like this interview and say, here's what I'm thinking, here are my problems, and the AI is going to figure it out and says, oh, hey, I can do this. And they're going to be like, yes or no. Great. And so I think just the amount of change of AI's capabilities is only going to really change how we do things, how we do work, how we interact with the technology over the coming years.
那喜欢这支影片呢，也欢迎您继续订阅呢中租基金平台，收看更多的内容。有更多的基金资讯呢，您欢迎收看我们的资讯来点阅更多的影片。那还没有在中租基金平台开户的朋友，记得赶快去开户，并且输入这边的开户推荐码 YTEZFunds 就可以享全站基金的零手续费，再送投资的专属月报。
提供境内外跨品牌的基金，打造属于您的梦幻明星阵容。透过中租母子锁利购点滴累积，逐步养大财富资产。现在就上网搜寻5够厉害的中租母子锁利购。提醒您，投资一定有风险，基金投资有赚有赔，申购前应详阅公开说明书。